Hello. Each chapter I'm going to do a little introduction on the very first slide. I'll try to keep it under 8 minutes. So here we go with Chapter 1, Exploring Human Sexuality, Past and Present. One of the biggest influences in shaping our values, opinions, and attitudes about human sexuality is our family of origin. So you're going to be thinking about that this week as we do Chapter 1. Remember in my introduction I said my family was not open about it at all. Basically nothing was said and I had to learn on my own. Thankfully back then we had the Encyclopedia Britannica in our home, and the medical edition answered a lot of my questions as I was growing up. We also live in a sex-saturated society that makes honest information about human sexuality taboo. Only human beings have gone beyond sexual behaviors to create ideas, laws, customs, fantasies, and art around the sexual act, making sexuality a very unique trait for humans. Sexuality is also an area of human life that can be contradictory and confusing. I think part of that is families have such diverse backgrounds with sexuality. So what is common for my family may not be common for another's family. Also, there are sexual images all around us. I mentioned the Encyclopedia Britannica. Today we have the internet, and just by typing in a few words we can have information at our fingertips. So all of this though can make us very uncomfortable talking about sex. What do you think? Has the media caused us to think everyone is more sexually active than we really are? Do you think the media causes some individuals to become sexually active before they are ready? We live in a society where sex is not a very open topic, even when we have all this information directly around us. I'll use Kansas for an example. Do you think the fact that Kansas is in the Bible Belt is one of the reasons that we're afraid to be as open about our sexuality as we are sexually active? Are we afraid to admit if we become sexually active before we get married? Does this then cause one not to protect themselves as they should, whether that is being unprepared when it happens, unwilling to admit that one is sexually active, or the fear that our parents might find out? Does this then hold the consequence of higher teen pregnancy and or disease? So many questions. Hopefully through the readings, discussions, and activities that we will be doing this semester, we will be able to answer your questions. And there is a question box. I'm sure you already saw it. When you post a question, please know that everyone can see it. If you have a private question, just message me through the conversation tool. And I can either then post the question anonymously or just answer you privately, whatever you wish. If you want the whole class to know the question, then I can do that anonymously. Our textbook, I feel, does an excellent job covering the history of sexuality. When I was getting my master's degree, I took a 3-hour credit class just on the history of sexuality. And I will be including the highlights of what I learned in 3 separate voiceovers, one on Hebrews through Henry VIII, one on those crazy Victorians, and then one on the 20s through the 2000s. We will then have a conversation, a discussion about what has happened since 2000 that's made history. I think we will all find that enlightening. And you're also going to learn in this chapter, we always think of the sexual revolution being the 60s. Well, there was actually a sexual revolution in the 20s as well, thanks to those Victorians. So let's begin to learn more about what sexuality has given us in the past and what it is giving us in the present. Have a great week enjoying this chapter.